Greetings, mind crafters, and welcome to another Mindcraft discussion today. My name is Kimberly Quinn, and my whole role with these Mindcraft episodes is to help people become the boss of their brain. You know, to realize and totally get that thoughts are first, followed by feelings, followed by actions or behavior. So mastering your thoughts is essential for well-being and living your best life. And you know, sort of like part of that too is also learning how, this all rolls into it, learning how to calm your mind down, learning how to celebrate who you are. And that's what we're going to talk about today with total gratitude. So it's interesting because I started out on this walk. I had no intentions of doing a video today, which actually that's not totally true. I had no intention of doing a video on this walk. And then I started doing my gratitude walk because class is just our finals. I was super fortunate. Mine were stacked all on Monday, so I'm pretty done as far as that goes. So I'm celebrating that, and not because I was happy to see my students go. That's always bittersweet, because especially the first years, and also all of them, but it's different with first years. They kind of master that first year, and it's kind of like they went from white belt grasshopper to like a blue belt or something. I don't know, whatever is next in different forms, but not black belts yet. But it's fun to have a different color belt than the beginning one. And that's kind of my metaphor for them. And just to watch them start to come into their own. And then they grow, sophomores and juniors. And when they're seniors, they're an entirely different person than when they came in. I mean, obviously their core is the same, but they're night and day different. They really come into their own. And so it's a happy of being done with the grading and things like that. Because it's the flying around the classroom part that I like so much. And also just watching them learn and grow and everything. Young adults are just the best. That's my niche. So I'm celebrating a really successful semester, celebrating that it all went so well, celebrating the grading is over, because that is not my favorite part. And no better place to do that in nature. If you're saying, oh, she's just going to talk about school. That's my example. But truthfully, this video is about celebrating who you are in nature as much as possible. You can be in Central Park. We talked about it. There's some nice parks in San Diego, Chicago. I'm sure every major city there's nature's embrace, and to really get out there, because I'm having a one-woman party out here. The brook is babbling, and let me tell you about the woodpecker noise. Wow, it just watched them pecking away and gathering some bugs to take home to their bird kids. And there's little G, he's part of this whole thing. And the blooms. Northern Vermont doesn't really do spring too much, but I love nature because it's so accepting. So nature, the trees and everything, they're also happy about me being here. I just feel it. But the other thing is, nature is so healing, I think, because it's such a metaphorical and visual sort of example of what it means to, like, full love and acceptance. Because when I'm deep in the woods right now. This loop that I do, I'm like halfway, so I'm about as far back there. I guess unless I went to the summit of Burnt Mountain, that's a little bit farther. But we're pretty much back there. And nature just doesn't care about like any issues or any drama. I love that about nature. So does G. It doesn't care, like, all the what if negative self-talk we do is spending a lot of our days wasting life minutes, sadly. But we're not smart enough, tall enough, thin enough, straight enough, social enough, wealthy enough, far along in our life enough, whatever, not enough. We're out in nature with these wonderful sounds, these peaceful sounds that, Alexa and all these, they all try to emulate, the ocean sounds and the brook sounds, and you can't emulate this, not yet anyway. And there's nothing like the real thing. In fact, Alexa, my husband turns on ocean sounds at night for the white noise so he doesn't snore, which kind of works, I guess. But here's the thing. It doesn't sound like the ocean. It sounds like jet plane noises. I really can't. I don't like it at all. And at this time of year, we have to take turns, because I want to hear the bird symphony. We have feeders loaded all outside the windows, and it's a bird symphony starting about, I don't know, never really, because I'm up early. I guess around 5 o'clock maybe it starts. So we have to alternate that. And also the rain is another. It's just nature's way to calm ourselves down. We're out in the world, flying around like gerbils on crack, when this is what we need. And I realize I am super fortunate to live so far out there, where this is literally out my door. Short Jeep ride over some pretty major mud ruts to get here, but it's pretty great. But no matter where you are, there's some nature, even if you're in Urbania. And we need this so much. It's what's natural, and we're part of it. And I think we need that. I think it helps us stay grounded because we really need nature. It's not like it's extra. I think I'll embrace nature sometime this week. We need it like we breathe oxygen to really, because it's in us, it's innate, that we're all part of this life-giving force. And I think that's part of what, at least for me and for G, what the immediate calm down is. Sometimes I come out here with ADHD head, and you know that for me, I call that the fast mind club because ADHD is such a misnomer. I think I told you it was a couple weeks ago. Actually, I had 2 whole weeks recently where I was just, oh my head. You know, I don't like the word hyper, but wow, I knew I had used all my strategies. I did all that. And truthfully, the only thing that really got me centered was coming out here. And there was that one day that thankfully was a Sunday because I just would have had to get up even extra early because obviously I had classes and my well-being role and all that stuff. Thankfully, it was a day that I could do it. And I said to myself, I am not coming back until I am in a calm, centered place, because this wild and wonderful mind was in orbit, like circling every planet, in the solar system, ran around the Milky Way. Made a few trips around the Milky Way galaxy, went looking for another one to explore, and then came back. It was just nuts. And nature, being here with this wonderful babbling brook, I mean, it's just gorgeous, and it runs through this entire property as far as, well, actually, it goes down like one side of the property, I guess is what I should say. And just checking out all the beaver updates, I've posted a lot of them because they're so fun. They're making a whole condo complex over there. And in another video, I showed what amazing collaborators they are. They got a killer work ethic, and their beaver pond, after it rained for a few days in a row, pretty heavy, or maybe it was like 4 days in a row, their pond got too high, so they all worked together and made this little divot in the dam to let some of it out, to level it out. I mean, talk about century. I'm just kind of keeping up with the beaver activity. I'm out here right now just taking it all in. So anyway, the whole thing with that is we need it. It's not an extra. It's not the sauce on the sundae. It is the sundae. And so I would just encourage you to do, regardless of wherever you live, or you might be on the tippy top of a rooftop. You can bring plants. You can, I don't know if there's anything as great as this is. And if you can travel, do that. We have a daughter out in Denver. She hikes every weekend. But you can bring nature to you too. Even if it isn't an ideal woods walk, there's all kinds of things. I told you I just did a thing with my Defense Against the Dark Arts Club at Champlain. We made bonsai trees, and we did this whole thing where bonsaiing is a word. Who knew? But it's actually that the folks who do it in this little short documentary, talk about it's all about their well-being. Like the little baby trees are cute and everything, but it's not really about that for them. It's about all the time they spend nurturing them. And they actually made an analogy to us, like with nature's, when we nurture ourselves, we blossom and we grow. And they were, while they were saying all this while they're, doing the Mr. Miyagi thing and trimming them. And so go figure that bonsais, I guess, are very sensitive. And I've got 3 growing right now and some more seedlings happening. But the whole point is embracing nature. You might say, oh, she's going off on a tangent. Yeah, I do. That's how my mind works. I'm a web thinker. But the main thing is to know your value, because we cannot take care of itself we don't value. And when we come out into nature and it's just you and the trees and the woodpeckers, which are making a lot of racket, so are the blue jays. They're out trying to impress their women right now, they're loud and squawky and everything. I also saw some mating frogs. So it was like nature porn. But it's the whole natural spring thing, and just really being truly mindful, but which it doesn't mean sitting lotus position. You can do that too. But watching tadpoles do their thing, watching salamanders also showing a lot of love to each other right now. I mean, it is spring. Just taking in all of it. It is so incredibly healing, empowering, centering. And there's something about nature, since it's just you and everything we came from, right? That's what I'm trying to talk about. It's so innate. And for me, I feel that innate thing when I'm out here, that divine connection, and it's so incredibly centering, because if this can center this mind, that's powerful. I'm just saying right now, especially when I'm in, kind of in that spin, which just comes in waves like anything else does, right? So that's really it. I am celebrating so much. my gratitude walk went all the way up through to where this deeper part of the woods starts, like the flat part. My hands were flying around, and I was just grateful for everything, health and family and a great semester, and be able to have this, and that I can breathe easily. I don't do well when I even have a cold because I feel like I'm going to suffocate to death. And right now, I've had a wonderfully easy breathing, winter. Gratitude was just rolling out of me, Gratitude rampage. I did a thing on that. Then G and I decided to do the whole loop and come way the heck back here, where I've heard the bears are waking up, but not this time of day, I don't think. And so anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. Nature is celebratory, healing, centering, quieting and calming for the mind, and just plain enjoyable. And there is no easier place to be mindful, to be in the present moment. So many of us struggle with that out in the world where we're, spinning our little hamster wheels, and there is no easier place. It's like mindfulness 101 for, the grasshoppers to get going with it. There is no easier place than this to be in the moment. I'll tell you that right now. There's just so much activity, so much natural entertainment, especially in the springtime, but anytime really. So anyway, that's it. Celebrate in nature, calm down in nature, heal in nature. This is Kimberly Quinn signing off from the beautiful, gorgeous Notch in northern Vermont. Have a mindful day.